And we are live. What's good, y'all? It's your man, DL Saint. Welcome. I really want to know podcast. I know. I'm supposed to come on at 6 o'clock, but I got things to do today, y'all. It's Friday. You know, once a month I meet with the new Templars. Today's the day. I got my Fridays mixed up. I apologize popping up on y'all. I apologize. But um, but we're here. We're here. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna do a quick one. Get a quick one in. Uh, because I'm gonna be with the new Templars here in Tampa, and we're gonna be taking care of business. And that's gonna be around the same time that I'm normally on. We're meeting at our meeting's at 8, but we get there around the officers get there around 7. We got business we gotta take care of and all that. So here I am, folks. Sorry, but y'all understand it is what it is. You know, so every now and then I'll be off on my times and all that. But that's why I'm here early. So don't beat me up, y'all. Don't beat me up. I hope you're having a good Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. Hey, we're getting close to summer break for the little kiddies out there, for the kiddos. I know here in Central, world, here in the Tampa area, they got 5 more days left. They got 5 more days, a week. This time next week, it'll be summertime, and these kids will be done with school. So they're happy about that. I'm happy for them. Just out here making moves. Real quick, just a quick side note. I was talking to a friend of mine who, they dabble in the real estate game, and it's a good friend of mine. Just kind of, asking for my advice on some stuff. Not that I'm any kind of guru or anything like that. I am not. But you know how we get down. You tell me something, and we can, figure it out, man. Worst case scenario, we'll just put it through the old
think tank. Arch, nothing gets past the old think tank. Nothing.
So we put it through the old think tank, and I was looking at it. For those people who are in the game right now, if you're flipping or whatever you're doing with real estate, man, oh man, it's a scary time. But even though it's a scary time, um, when you look at everything, all you have to do is just sit and hold. Just sit and hold. And this is probably why Myron Gaines is always talking about real estate, real estate, real estate. And most people, not just Myron Gaines, shout out to Fresh and Fit and them, but not just him. Most folks, like, you can't go wrong with real estate. And I'm starting to see what they mean. My friend was like showing me the numbers, and I was looking at their situation, and I was like, I went and made some phone calls to people I know in that field. Hey, and just real quick, what would you do in this situation? And basically, the information that came back was like, just sit there, just sit tight, just sit tight. Positive cash flow is a good thing. You get someone in there, it's a good thing. Rents are gonna rent. Things are gonna rent for what they rent for. Um, it is what it is. It may take a little bit of work. It might mess up your plans, your long term plans, but your short term goals, you have to be flexible, man. You have to be. So, just wanted to throw that out there, brother Jason. What's good, fam? How you feeling? Good to see you. Good to see you, man. I'm glad you're here. Hope things are well in Detroit. I think it's warming up for you guys up there. I think so, anyway. But that kind of segues into what we want to talk about today. I don't have any videos or anything, y'all. This is gonna be us just shooting the stuff, right? Holding frame, bro. Like, you hear that term so much, holding frame. You hear that term so much in the manosphere, red pill spaces, and all that. Got these guys, I'm just holding frame. Um, Business guys, people in real estate, people out there, entrepreneurs, you know, they all understand it, but everyone looks at that term differently. The way I see it, they're talking about relationships, holding frame and relationships. I understand it, but I think a lot of young guys out here, a lot of old guys out here, they don't truly understand what is meant by holding frame. I mean, to them, it's just this. It's controversial. You know what I mean? It's just adversarial kind of thing. It shouldn't be. It should not be. So I wanted to talk about that. You know, and I'm rushing here because I got stuff I got to do. This is going to be a short one, guys. I mean, it's real talk. This is going to be a real short conversation. Maybe we'll revisit it, do like a part two, and we'll bring some people up. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys some food for thought. Um, when my friend called me, and they had certain objectives and goals behind getting into the real estate world and doing whatever. If they were to hold fast to those objectives that they wrote down a year and a half ago, and they were to hold frame, they would go broke. They would lose their property. There's no way that that plan from over a year ago, year and a half ago, would work in today's market. There's just no way, because those plans were based on the situation on the ground then. What was the situation on the ground then? The average, when you went to get a loan, that your percentage rate was going to be somewhere around 2, 3.5%, maybe 4 if your credit wasn't all that great. 4% was the worst you were looking at, going in, getting these loans, doing what you have to do, going and do the work. It was easy to get materials, right? It was, we didn't have the supply shortage, and then the supply, shortfall, you couldn't get stuff. None of that was going on about a year and a half ago, right? I mean, they went into that plan thinking, oh, this is how it's going to work. This is how much time we need. We're going to be able to do X, Y, and Z, and then boom, we're going to move on to the next one, which they have been doing. But things began to change. And you must adjust. You must adapt. You got to improvise. So holding frame doesn't make sense if that means you're going to follow this plan off the cliff no matter what, even though you see the cliff coming, even though you can just, turn the wheel a little bit and avoid the cliff, or step on a brake and avoid the cliff. Nope, this is what we plan to do. We're going to do it. And I'm seeing that when a lot of guys talk to me, they come to me, they're so proud, man, about relationships. I held my frame. She wanted to do this and I said no. All right, well, why did you say no? Well, just because. Well, that's just foolish, my friend. You don't get points for that. Holding your frame, I would say, has more to do with your moral code, and it has more to do with being smart and savvy. Simple as that. You know what I mean? You want to be smart about it. Brother Doug is saying stoicism. You know what I mean? Shout out to you, Brother Doug. I mean, yes, a part of that is there. You don't, you don't want to be a pushover. You don't want to be someone who could be walked out over. You don't want to be someone who is told what to do, a follower. You definitely want to be a leader. So when I hear holding frame, I maintain that about myself. Like, all right, cool. I'm the dude. I am my own man. I'm going to do what's best for Saints. That's what I'm going to do. But I'm not going to make silly decisions. I'm not going to do something foolish so I can look like I'm being stoic. Being stoic and being foolish are two different things. Right? It's you have to think it through. You have to be smart. So when I talk to people who are in business, they got to be smart and be able to maneuver as conditions change on the ground. Right? You got to be smart. So holding your frame is not giving up, in my opinion. So if I'm out here, I'm a businessman, I'm not just going to give up and walk away from whatever, just leave it all to burn. No. Holding my frame is, all right, we're in this business. We're going to stay in this business. We're going to continue to do what we need to do. We're going to do it the right way. We're going to make these moves. We're going to work it out with our team. We're going to make sure that we are hitting our objectives that make sense. And if they don't make sense, we're going to make new objectives. And it should be the same way with relationships, in my opinion. It should be the exact same way in relationships. Right? Yeah. And Brother Jason saying unapologetically using logic over emotion. Yes. I would say that's a part of holding frame. Absolutely. That's part of it. Right? But if you have someone who's coming at you with some emotional stuff, you still need to take it in. Like, all right, there might be something here. Let's say 80% of it is just fluff and stuff and it's just emotions. All right, but 20% is real. Like, okay, we got to look into this. Right? Holding your frame. Holding your frame is, I'm not going to run behind you because you don't like what we're doing and you want to take your toys home with you. All right, pick up your toys and take them with you then. Bye. Holding your frame, I get that. But again, you want to be smart about it. So many guys out here they don't know who they are. And that's the problem. How can you hold frame? How can you draw some moral line in the sand when you don't even know who you are, when you haven't even established those lines yourself? You don't have any boundaries. You just out here floating around in the wind like a feather. So how can you hold frame when you don't know what that is? And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about right now. Like, okay, holding frame is definitely needed. And if you're dealing with someone in a relationship, they're out there, they're doing some crazy stuff. They're used to doing what they want to do. And they're not going to listen to you no matter what. They're off being whatever. You got to let them go, bro. You got to let them go. Like, all right, that's cool. Like, and it's not a matter of you, I said this and do this. Nah, man. It's so many guys out here that get this holding frame thing. Like, again, it's like, well, I'm going to do what, you going to do what I say and I'm the man. And, nah, it ain't that. I sit back, I'm quiet with it. Like, oh, you want to do what? Nah, I wouldn't do that if I were you. And if they decide to do it anyway, bye. I'm not even gonna tell you, but I'm not even gonna say it like that. It's just I'm gonna pick up my toys and leave. I ain't playing. Like, I ain't got time for this. And people will say, well, that's holding frame like that. No, that's just me taking care of me. Now, back to the relationship stuff, like if you're in a relationship with a good person, it shouldn't be hard to really hold your frame. It really shouldn't be. If you're in a relationship with a good person, this woman, she comes to you when she has real problems, and you're there to help her out with those problems, and you have really good leadership skills and techniques. You really shouldn't have that problem. Like, as far as holding the frame, like I gotta slam my fist down. Nah. I said, get back in the house, woman. Nah, that's peacocking, bro. That's not holding frame. Holding frame is being there for people and make sure you're there. Like you're keeping your word. You're gonna stand fast to your moral code, your code, wherever that code is. You're gonna stand fast to that code. I'm not into that. I'm not doing that. You go ahead. I'm not trying to. I will tell you maybe you shouldn't do that, and here's why. But if you're bound and determined to do it, right? Well, it's just me and my girls. We're just going to Miami. We're just going to New York. We're just going to Vegas. I don't understand. Okay, no problem. No problem. Have a good time. A lot of guys will tack on to the end of that. I'm not going to be here when you get back. I'm not doing that. I'm not playing with your head right there. You know who I am. You know how I get down. You should be able to see it. And if you don't, oh well, that's what you get for not paying attention. Go ahead. Do you. Now I know what I'm dealing with. Our moral compasses don't sync. You cool with that? You want to go out and party every weekend? You want to go to Vegas with your girlfriends? You want to take a trip, to the south of France? Fine. Without me? Okay, fine. I see what it is. I ain't tripping. I'm going to adjust to the situation on the ground. I am going to modify my objectives. It's like, okay, I thought she was the one, but she's not. But I'm not going to sit there and fuss and fight and argue and say, see, look, I'm not going to do that. That's just not me. That's just not me. Holding frame doesn't mean you're a dictator. What I say goes. Nah, bro. I mean, who are you? You know what I mean? Like, really, who are you? Now you got to look into it. Are you really holding frame, or are you just out here trying to make yourself out to be something that you're really not? Like I said, y'all know I lurk in the shadows. I'm in the shadows watching. And if I see something I don't like, if things are going the way I don't agree with, okay, fine. I move on. You didn't know I was there in the first place, right? So I'm in there. I'm moving like a ninja, bro. I'm gone like a sniper. I'm out of here. So many guys, they go out here and I hear this, holding frame. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? Well, I'm just holding frame. I put my foot down. She can't go on girls trip anymore. What do you mean anymore? Anymore? She's done this before. Well, first few times. The first few times. So it was as cool what she was doing until you found the red pill. This was cool until you saw Andrew Tate or you saw Fresh and Fit. It was cool until then. Well, yeah. So now I'm putting my foot down. It's like, Bro, you gotta leave, man. You know what I mean? You sitting there fighting, thinking you really think she's listening to you now? She wasn't listening to you before. She's still doing what she got to do. She's just telling you a different story. That's not, to me, that's not holding your frame, bro. That's like you lost that fight. You lost before it even began. And how did he lose? Because he didn't know himself. If it was cool before, why isn't it cool now? And the guys can't answer that. Like, well, okay, maybe you've grown. Maybe you've kind of looked at some things. You've done some soul searching. You've looked at the dude in the mirror. He's like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to get better at standing up. All right, that's cool. That's cool. But you gotta understand these people you've been dealing with in your life, they used to the old you. You don't just turn it on and off like a light. Right? It doesn't work that way. So you gotta understand that. And right now, because this is gonna be a quick talk. I know we're only 15 minutes in, but I just want to drop the I'm gonna drop the link in here real quick in case anybody wants to pop up. And it's the same thing with business, bro. Like, business and with your other friends, with your male friends. You have guys out here who are just pushovers. They get walked all over by everyone around them, including other men. And they're sitting around there like, well, I'm holding the frame. I'm with my woman and I'm doing this and, I'm building myself up and I'm doing that. Meanwhile, they got guys around them who aren't even loyal. And they're getting ran over and ran through by these dudes and they don't see it. But your girl sees it and she tells you, like, these guys right here, these guys ain't looking out for you. And you're like, no, I'm holding frame. You be quiet, woman. Go make me a sandwich. All right. Why aren't you listening to her? Isn't she supposed to be on your team? How come you're not utilizing your individuals, right? Like that's part of your team. That's the most important part of your team. That's the senior NCO right there. Why isn't her input important to you? Maintaining your frame, man. Maintain your moral code. Like just be able to be cool with yourself. Be able to sit back and listen. Like, how come you're not listening to everybody? How come you picking and choosing who you listen to? Right? Maintaining your frame is really understanding who you are, man. To thine own self be true. That was out of Hamlet, right? To thine own self be true. You can't hold frame if you don't know who you are. You just can't. And because you know these talking points and you know these terms and you run around and you spout it out doesn't necessarily mean that you understand the terms. You feel me? Brother Doug, some of the confusion with these manosphere terms and phrases, each content creator that intro these terms change from content creator to content creator. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, or they purposely keep it vague. They keep it vague. What does it mean to you? Well, what does it mean to maintain frame? Well, I make sure my woman is barefoot and pregnant, makes me sandwiches when I say that's holding your frame. Well, when she wants to go out. And a lot of times when y'all know I'm a big, I'm a fan of the Fresh and Fit platform. Myron and Fresh don't tell you what to do. They simply put the information out there and allow you to make your own decision. And in that way, they maintain their own frame. Everybody talks about, oh, Myron's going to Frank Castle somebody. Fresh is going to Frank Castle somebody. He's going to kick a girl out. I mean, that's just something they do on the show. Is good for ratings. The people who love, the people who watch that show love to see it. But in real life, if it's just one-on-one, you're not getting anywhere by just kicking a girl out. Just say, get out like that. I mean, come on, man. You ain't getting nowhere. I agree you want to get rid of them. But you ain't got to, beat your chest to get out. Maintaining your frame is no matter how fine that woman is, no matter how big her butt is, no matter how much sex she gives you, if she crosses one of your moral lines, you're going to deal with her every time, 100% of the time. That's maintaining your frame, being true to yourself. But I agree with you, Brother Doug. These people out here, man, these people, they just like hearing the terms and saying whatever they got to say. Brother Nidus is in the house. It's good, man. Most folks don't know themselves. Facts, bro. Most folks don't. Most dudes don't know who they are. They don't know anything about themselves, and nor do they want to know. They just want to go out here and be part of a group and, rah, this and that, go team. You know what I mean? The people on the far left, people on the far right are great examples of that, politically. They're great examples of it. You get some person on the far left and someone on the far right, you put them in a room together and let them have a regular conversation. They'll realize that they agree with most of the stuff. They have more in common than they have that's not in common. They agree with more than they disagree with. But because they're team this or team that, you can't have a conversation. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to Trumpers. You know what I mean? I sit there and I listen to them. And then I'll break stuff down like, well, I agree with you on this. No, you're a liberal. I'm liberal about some things. Y'all saw it on this platform. Brother Mandrill was on here talking about, hey, you sound awfully liberal, DL. Like, well, I'm liberal about some things. I'm very conservative about others. Like, it is what it is. But I'm not team anything. Right? I'm team Saint. I got my family's interests in mind. That's all I'm thinking about. That's me maintaining my frame. My frame is I'm team Saint. I'm all about my family. I'm doing what's best for me and my family moving forward. That's me. I'm not going to switch that up because of Donald Trump or because of RFK Jr. or because of Barack Obama or because of George W. Bush. I don't care about none of that, bro. Who's going to help me do better in this environment? That's who I'm going to rock with. Point blank. That's me. I'm maintaining my frame. I'm going to maintain my political frame. Religion. You ain't going to tell me who God is. You ain't going to tell me what I should believe and what I shouldn't believe. I don't care how many books you put in my face. I'm going to maintain my frame. I know what I believe. That's what I'm going to go with. And I can back it up. I can back it up with your books. I can back it up with other people's books. I can back it up. But I'm going to maintain that frame. And simply because you don't agree with me, or you're a Buddhist, or you're a Muslim, or you're a Christian, or you're a Lutheran, or you're a Seventh-day Adventist, or, you know what I mean, you're a Mormon. I mean, none of that. I mean, so long as you're a cool person and you don't violate any of my moral standings, right? You don't try to get me to do some crazy clown world stuff, we cool. So you don't come after me and mine, we cool. I ain't tripping. But if anybody comes up and say this is the only one, religion, and we're gonna not educate a certain segment of the population, and we're gonna take all the money and resources away, and we're gonna do, nah, bro, we got a problem. I don't care about your God. I care about how you acting right now. We got a problem. We're gonna do something about that. Maintaining frame, standing to my code. And that's just how it is. Shout out to you, Brother Knightish. Brother Doug, Alpha Male Strategies coined that phrase originally, and it was defined as not letting a woman get you in emotions. Okay, that makes sense. You don't want to let a woman or anyone else get you emotional, and you don't want dudes to get you riled up. There's so many dudes out here that are emotional, way more emotional than some females today. There's some dudes out here that just so emotional, man. Like, what are they doing? And they wonder why they can't maintain frame, because they're always out here screaming and yelling and, looking like girls. They don't know themselves. That's the biggest thing. Know yourself. Again, we talk about that over here too. Sun Tzu said it, bro. Know yourself, man. Know yourself, know your enemy. Know yourself. Oh man, it's just so many guys out there that don't know themselves today. We live in a country like America has lost its identity. What does America stand for anymore? No one knows. America can't maintain its frame. America doesn't know who America is anymore. People are just walking around this joint. You know what I mean? Look at someone like Sneeko. That's a young dude. That's a young guy that's out there trying to figure it out, man. Sneeko is really young. And he, because of YouTube and social media and the way the game has changed, man, he's a wealthy young guy. He's smart. He's just trying to figure it out, bro. Like I've spoken to Sneeko. I've had a couple words with him. And we were talking about Ukraine and Russia, and he was like, well, what's wrong with Russia? I'm like, bro, you need to go read some books. What's wrong with Russia? Like, I need to tell you, we need to sit down and talk, player. What's wrong with Russia? But at least to his credit, he'll go out there and read some books and try to figure it out and talk to some other people. Right. So now there's like this big push right now. No one claims the red pill. No one claims the manosphere. No one claims it. It's all this kind of stuff. All right, that's cool. It's cool. It is what it is. But the Mano Swamp and the red pill world and the black pill world and all this other kind of stuff doesn't affect me because I know who I am. I am going to maintain my frame 100% of the time. It is what it is. Whatever I do, and I stand by it, right or wrong. Right. And there's so many guys out here who believe that maintaining their frame means I'm never wrong. That is bullshit. Just keep it 100. I'm never wrong, brother Doug. Sneako is maturing. He is right in front of your face in 1080p. He's discovered Islam. Good for him. That might work for him. But at the same time, he's out there doing his thing. He's a young man with money, a young, handsome man who's in shape and he's got a ton of money. And he's in Miami, bro. And like I said, next week, we're going to be talking about that Destiny, Sneako, Rollo Tomasi, Michael Surtain debate. Because Sneako was saying some stuff. They're like, oh, come on, Sneako. And he's like, the things that he's saying, like he's trying to figure it out. He's in a spot in his life. And I understand where he is because I've been there too. You get to a point in life and you're like, bro, these women are so easy. He's just looking at it. You get to a point in your life, it's like, man, this sex is just sex. When you can pick up a phone and you can call a beautiful woman and have her come over to you and do whatever you want, she'll do whatever you want. You start to look at the world differently. He has money. He has sexual access. He has clout. He's dealing with people who are top tier people on the planet. And he's young, man. He's just sitting there trying to figure it out. Like, what's going on here? He's just trying to figure it out. He remembers being young and in school, whatever, and being awkward and all that. He remembers all that. And now he's like, man, look at me now. I'm having 3 ways, 4 ways, 5 ways. I got these girls coming over here chasing me. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. He ain't driving around in Lamborghinis. He ain't walking around, $400,000 chains around his neck. He could do that. He could. I don't even think he has nice timepieces, to be honest with you. I don't think he has that. He could, though. If he wanted to, he could. So, he's learning, but these young guys out here who believe maintaining your frame means I'm never wrong, they don't get it. If you walk around here and you believe you're never wrong, you will never grow. Sneako is growing as a man because he'll say it like, well, I used to believe this, and then I did some research and I discovered I was wrong. And now I believe this. He's out there trying to figure it out. He's not sitting down there like, nope, I'm always right, maintaining my frame. That I was wrong then, and I'm not wrong now. No, I'm wrong all the time. All the time. But you have to learn from these mistakes when you're wrong. You got to learn. I can't tell you how many times I've been out there, 10 toes down on the wrong side. And history will always tell you if you were right or wrong. History will always tell you. And if you think back on some of the stuff that you did, like I'm in my 50s now, but I think about some of the stuff I did in my late teens into my 20s. Man, I was so wrong. I was so wrong. And I would fight tooth and nail. I ain't wrong, argue and all that kind of stuff. Man, didn't make any sense. Whereas now, something's wrong. Oh, yeah, you're right. I was wrong about that. Or tell me what I'm not seeing here. Help me understand. And people will tell me, we'll have a discussion like, okay, I see what you mean. Damn, you know what? You're right. I was wrong about that. Now I've learned and I've become better. And when people know that you're open and you will accept and acknowledge the times that you are wrong, they're more willing to come and help you. They know it like, hey, Saint ain't tripping. He said, what? Let me holler at him. They ain't gonna be scared. They know I'm not gonna bite their head off. Like, yeah, man, I said that. Oh, well, bro, do you understand this, and this? Oh, no, I didn't know that. Yeah. This, and here's this, here, read this. I'll go back and read it. Okay, you're right. Appreciate that. Now I know better. Now I could go back and undo whatever it is I did. If that's the right thing to do. If that's what's best for me and my family. If that holds with my moral code. So, and we got Brother Mandrell in the house. What's good, fam? Good to see you, man. And Brother Mandrell will tell you this when it comes to leadership. We learned this in the Army. You don't know everything. So if you have a commanding officer out there who thinks he knows everything and he's maintaining his frame by pressing some attack when it's the wrong thing to do, and your first sergeant comes to you or some of your junior officers come to you and tell you, like, sir, this is the wrong thing to do. There's no need to press this attack here. We can simply flank them. There's no one on the flanks. No, I'm holding my frame. I'm gonna maintain my frame. That's the wrong thing to do. And I can get you hurt in the military. I can get you hurt, your own soldiers. Like, well, you want to press this attack? You go out front. You go lead from the front and press this attack. You learn as an air traffic controller. No one can know all the rules. No one can. There's just too many rules. So when I'm doing something in air traffic control, at least when I was an air traffic controller, someone told me I was doing it wrong. Okay. I'm gonna finish up what I'm doing. And then as soon as I get a break, as soon as I'm done with this position, whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna go get the book and I'm gonna read what they're talking about. And that's how you do. You open the book, boom, here it is right here. It says you cannot do that. You're right. Or I can open up another part of the book that says, yes, it says that, but it also says refer to this section where these are the exceptions when you can do that. Or this needs to happen first in order for that other rule to kick in. Oh, and if you do it that way, now both people have the opportunity to learn. Same thing with relationships, bro. Same thing with relationships. If you're with the right person, like, okay, this is what we're doing. Right. So if my woman is out here, she's doing something that I know is wrong. And what she's doing right now is wrong. I could tell her, like, hey, love, let's do this a different way. And she says, no, she's gonna maintain her frame. Okay, fine. I'm gonna let her do it. And then when we get home that night, I can sit down and tell her where she was wrong and what happened and why. And ideally, she'll take that information and she'll sit back and like, oh man, you were right. My bad. I didn't realize that. I was just so wrapped up in the moment. I apologize. I should have listened to you then. It's fine. You listening to me now. We just learned something. A lot of people don't do that. They'll go back to that moment in time and they want to argue. That's not maintaining your frame. Being able to argue does not make you stoic. Sorry. So when they talk about these guys in the manosphere and all this kind of stuff, these young dudes coming up, some of these older dudes coming up, and they're refusing to change. They're refusing to better themselves. And I'm like, yo, that's on y'all. And I keep it pushing. I can't even associate myself with these type people. But Saint, a lot of these guys, man, they got all these women and this and that. Yeah, they do. They got these women. And what's that got to do with me? Like, this isn't lining up with my moral code. I can't cross that bridge with you, bro. You know what I mean? You got these guys doing whatever they're doing, saying what they're doing, using these mind tricks. Go ahead. And that's the type of woman you want. Go ahead. But I can't do it. And when these guys tell them stupid things like, oh, and they're maintaining their frame, okay. And those women accept it, and that's on them. That's their relationship. I'm not trying to do it that way. And that's what I mean. You got all these guys watching, and they're like, well, that guy does it this way, so I'm going to do it like him. And now, look at me. I'm maintaining frame too. Hey, no, you're not. You don't even know yourself. How can you? You're maintaining his frame. That's his frame, not yours. Come up with your own code, bro. Can you do that? Can you come up with your own? I was talking to some friends, and they were telling me about the whole red pill world and the manosphere and the way it was, how it started. And I guess it's been around a long time. Brother Doug, how long has this manosphere stuff been around? Has it been like 10, 20 years plus, something like that? Way before computers, before the internet as we know it, it was those, I guess, forums. They would go on and post on message boards and stuff like that, and guys were sharing information. What were they doing? They were learning. They're trying to figure themselves out. And then they were learning from the experiences of other guys who were like them, and they were taking this information and hopefully making themselves better. And with this information, they will move forward and they will kind of change. So now when they go out and they're with a woman who is really alpha, really aggressive, really masculine, they can just back out of it. Like, oh, I'm good, I'm cool, break up or whatever. Like, I'm good. No need to argue and fight. But some of those guys, they will go out there, argue and fight and do that too. I mean, again, if that's what you want to do, fine. I ain't knocking you. That's the way you move. I ain't knocking you. But they would share this information. Now, the Mano Swamp, Rich Cooper calls it the Mano Swamp. He ain't joking. That what's going on now is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, bro. The stuff that I'm seeing. Because it's not about becoming better, is it? It's about clout. It's about how you are perceived by others. It's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing at all levels. Now we ain't talking about the top 20 and bottom 80. We're talking about all guys. All these dudes are out here, doing some of the weirdest shit, man. Just some of the weirdest stuff. I mean, and it boils back to people not going outside, people not having that social awareness. They have no idea what social cues are or how to read them. Right. So I sit back and I watch this, bro, and I've seen guys I've tried to help, and it just falls on deaf ears because they want to be like the whole Andrew Tate phenomenon, bro. I like Tate. Very, very charming gentleman. He's a true gentleman. Cool cat. You know what I mean? Easy guy to talk to. And simply because Andrew Tate's doing this thing, kickboxing world champions, making tons of money. He's led his life. He's done what he's done. He's doing what he's doing. And all these guys, they see him like, I want to be Tate, top G. I'm like, cool. I like the conversations with the guy, but I'm not trying to be him. I'm me. I'm me. If I'm somewhere with someone like Tate or whoever else, if I'm with someone like Barack Obama and they talking about doing some craziness, something stupid, something that goes against my moral code, man, I'm not doing that. Y'all go ahead, bro. I'm cool with the conversation, man. It was a good conversation. I'm gonna holler at y'all later because now y'all on some craziness, man. I ain't rocking with that. That's me holding my frame. That's me holding my frame. Early 2000s. Okay, cool. Early 2000s, man. Like, so yeah, 20 years. 20 years. And Brother Doug's talking about how long the manosphere's been around. Like 20 years, bro. So when guys, this whole asking, this maintaining frame is not just a term used for you and women. It's you. It's how you carry yourself throughout this world. It's how you deal with everyone, not just women. You need to maintain your frame at all times, bro. I know people sitting in jail right now locked up because they couldn't maintain their frame. They sat there, they followed the leader, and they wound up doing something stupid or being around someone who did something stupid and got them locked up. Point blank, period. I had tons of people come up to me and ask me to do stuff. Hey, we got this lick brewing. We're going to do this and that. Let's go over here and do this or that. Like, nah, bro, I ain't going nowhere with you. You are a criminal, my friend. And a dumb one at that. Nah, I ain't going nowhere with you. What you talking about, bro? What you going to do? Shit, whatever you want to do, homie. You know what I mean? That's the world I came up in. You ain't pressuring me to do nothing. Cuz I'll come see you. I know where you stay. It's me holding my frame. That bottom line. Now, if I decide to go with somebody and I know they on something nefarious and it goes bad, you got to sit there and take your time. When no police come, they sitting you down at that table. Man, you ain't got nothing to say. I want my lawyer. That's it. And when that time comes, you go ahead and do that time. That's holding your frame. But you got these guys that don't even want to do that. They don't want to deal with the consequences. They gonna snitch. Or they willing to tell the police whatever the police want to hear. Man, what y'all want me to say? Man, I'll sign anything, man. Just get me out of here. Those dudes aren't holding their frame, man. They're not loyal. Those are the guys you need to stay away from. Those are the people you got to stay away from. So holding your frame extends well beyond relationships and dealing with women, bro. It extends way beyond going into the clubs or the lounges or working your day game or your social circle game or your doggy game, park game, whatever game. Maintaining your frame is knowing who you are establishing who you are, establishing your moral code, and sticking to it. Does that mean that your code can't change as you get older? Of course it can. It can modify, but once you decide that you're going to do something, maintaining your frame is just that. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm going to do it. And these are the kind of people I need around me. And that's just it. That's just it. You don't have to go run around talking about, yeah, I made her do this and yeah, I made her do that. You ain't got to do all that, bro. You ain't got to do that. People will be able to tell from just engaging with you what type of man you are. Like, this dude stands on his morals. All right, cool. That's a respectable guy right there. They'll be able to know right away just from talking to you, engaging with you. They can tell. And if you're not a respectable man, they can tell that too. Even if you are out there, quote unquote, holding your frame, beating your chest and doing all that crazy stuff, man. Brother Doug, AskMen.com was a site I used to frequent early 2000s, and their forums, I think Return of Kings was another. Oh, okay, cool. I never heard of these. This is all brand new to me. Lady Laveau is in the house. What's good, sis? Digging DL, you are you. Yes, 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 yes. You have to be you. We all must be ourselves. There's too many people out here trying to be someone else. There's too many dudes out here. They really want to be Andrew Tate. There are dudes out there that really want to be Jay Swans. Right? Jay Swan says that all the time. Y'all think he be playing. He already know it. Like, man, y'all want to be me. He means it. That's how he lives his life. You know what I mean? Andrew Tate, man. Everybody, I want to be Andrew Tate. Top G this, top G that. All this stuff about Andrew Tate. You notice I haven't really been talking about Brother Tate that much because they got him out of jail. I just think they need to get him out of jail. I was watching everything on that. I'm like, man, that was such injustice. I get it. He made a misstep. He made a bad play. You know what I mean? And landing him in a Romanian jail. But he's out now. He's at home. He's cool, bro. I ain't even tripping. Like, he's cool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll get him off a house arrest at some point. I know they're going to extend it until the end of June or July. I think I read that somewhere. Some thumbnail or some headline I read somewhere that they're going to keep him on the house arrest a little bit longer, but all that's going to fall away. But you see, he dealt with that, right? He held his frame. He did his time. He's dealing with this stuff. He's not running. He didn't crumble. He's not crying about it, right? He's not, I'll sign anything. He's not telling on people. He's maintaining his frame. Brother Doug, the youth are looking for father figures. Facts, bro. They certainly are. I remember when Alpha Male Strategy used to have a live call-in show. Guys would call in and ask if Alpha Male Strategies would be their father. Whoa. And they were serious. Wow. Yeah, man, it's definitely a thing, bro. I didn't know that, but it's definitely a thing. There is definitely a lack of male leadership. These young guys come up and have come up and are currently coming up, and they have no role models. I mean, I had my dad, I had my uncles, my older cousins. We had the strong men in the neighborhoods that we could look up to, right? We had hustlers out there in the street, like old school hustlers that would give us the game we could look up to and told us not to stay away from the streets. We had those guys, right? We had coaches. We had male teachers. There are no male teachers in the school system hardly anymore, bro. We don't have people doing it. We had male teachers back then, coaches and stuff like that. So there was plenty of male influence for me to see when I was coming up in the 70s, 80s, right? I could see this. 90s, graduated, got into the real world. Then I got into the military, and I was like a paratrooper. Nothing but positive male role models. Had some bad ones too, but it was a lot of high-speed individuals. Major English, one of the best commanding officers I've ever served under. I will follow that man into the gates of hell to this day. He called me up today. Got a mission for you, Lewis. Yes, sir. Where do you need me? When do you need me there? Follow that man anywhere. Hardcore soldier. Right? He was tabbed out, had everything. You know what I mean? Special forces, Ranger. Right? Everything. Scuba. He had scuba. I believe he was on the teams. He was enlisted and then went and won a commission somehow. I don't know if he went through OCS or how he did it. One hell of a leader. Right? And Lieutenant Holmes, another one. I mean, I don't think he was airborne. He was scuba. Was he airborne? I don't think he was airborne. Aviator, sharp guy. Follow him anywhere. You know, I had these examples. These examples are going away. We have less and less positive role models out here. So these guys are out here searching for wherever it is they're searching for, and they're finding silliness. They got nothing to compare to. Silliness, man. They're out here, they finding silliness. And they go out here and, you know, I'm maintaining my frame, and you know what I mean? I'm a high value man and this and that. They're more worried about all that. I'm like, man, just put your head down and work, bro. Become the best version of yourself. You know what I mean? You quit worrying about women talking about they don't want to marry a bus driver. Man, don't worry about that, man. If you say, well, we use logic and we look at the numbers. Do you really look at the numbers? Because if you look at the numbers, you'll realize that financially, you know what I mean, economically, women and men match up across the board, bro. It's a small percentage at the top, bro. I mean, it's the majority of people down here at the bottom. I'm retired, man. My pension is more than what most households make in Florida. I'm on par and I don't even work. So just think about that. What did I have to do to get to that part? You could do the same thing, man. You could drive a bus. You know what I mean? You can go out here and make some moves in real estate. It might get scary and choppy, but everybody wants that quick fix. Everybody wants that right now money. Sometimes you got to sit back and just hold what you got, right? Sometimes you got to sit back and maintain your frame. When it comes to business, man, like as a comedian, this is the best place to see it. The real good comedians, they maintain their frame, but when they go on stage, they modify their routines in real time because their job is to make you laugh. Their mission is to be funny. So they maintain their frame by being funny. And that's how you separate the good comics from the bad comics. Because you got the bad comics who go out there and they don't care about you laughing. They just going to run their routine, whatever it is. They're going to run the same 15 minutes, word for word. They're not going to change a damn thing. To me, those comics don't count. The good comics that go out there, they're going to run that routine. They might get into the first 5 minutes and realize this ain't working. So let me switch over and let me try some other material. Let me try to do some crowd work. Let me do this. Let me do that. Because they're trying to maintain their frame of being funny. Whereas the other guy doesn't care. He's just out there to get paid. He's like, I'm getting paid. I'm going to do this 15 minutes. I'm going to get this money. I don't care if you laugh or not. And they'll tell you that. They're not funny. Simply because, well, these jokes were funny in LA. Like, well, LA is not the real world. You know what I mean? Now you sitting down here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. You're going to have to change them jokes up, bro. This place ain't woke. If your mission is to be funny, if your frame is to be funny, then in order to maintain your frame, that means you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to adjust. And that's just how you know what I mean? That's just how I see it. Brother Doug, showing love to Lady Novoa. She's in here. We got Brother Jose in the house. What's good, fam? Always a pleasure to see you. Hey, DL, keeping it real, man. I'm trying. I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm old, bro. I want to tell y'all what it really is. I want to tell you what it really is. And at the end of the day, these guys talking about they want to maintain their frame, right? They regurgitate all of the talking points that you hear in the red pill world and in the man swamp, which I agree with a lot of stuff that's being said over there. I do. But these guys, at the end of the day, what do they want? They trying to get a woman. They're trying to get Foxy Brown. So they are acting a certain way, thinking that's going to get them the woman. So if you go out there and you act like Andrew Tate, you act like Myron Gaines, right? If you go out there and you act like Fresh and get the nice cars and all that, at the end of the day, the cars, the money, the jewels don't mean nothing. You can use the words, but if the words aren't you, they're not really coming from you, she's going to figure it out quick. She's going to figure it out. The reason you're not successful with women is because you don't know yourself. You're out here maintaining someone else's frame. Myron can kick women out of his house. He can do that. And he can pick up his phone and call 3 more women and have them come through because that's how he gets down. He's modified his game into that. That's what he does. Seen him do it in real life. Seen him do it. He doesn't care, bro. You'll see Myron with some woman, everything's good, and 2 hours later be a different chick. Like, yo, what happened to old girl? Man, she just said one too many dumb things, so I had to let her go. Just told her to leave. All right, baby, you just go on. And he's on his phone, literally hitting up another one. He's like, yeah, I got one. She'll be here in about 20 minutes. And this is in the foreign city. This ain't even in Miami. This is just them traveling. That's his game. So you're going to tell me, whoever you are, you're going to be like that, but you're not Myron. And women are going to sense that. You can use the words, you can read the pickup artistry stuff, right? You can do all that. You can wear the clothes, you can drive the car. But at the end of the day, you got to talk to her. And she is going to be with you based on that. Everything else was just a way to get her in front of you. That's all. That's it. Like Andrew Tate said, man, money is just a qualifier, bro. That's all it is. It's just a qualifier. If you a dork who's acting like he's a top tier guy, the instant you get to sit down with that woman, is just you and her, she's going to realize you a dork and she's going to try to run your pockets or get up and walk away. So unable to be able to hold frame, bro, you got to figure out who you are. And once you figure out who you are, holding frame is maintaining that course. I am who I am, and I am going to hold that. That's maintaining frame, bro. That's all it is. Maintaining frame is not yelling at your girl or telling her she can't go on girls' trips or calling her friends 304s or, that's not holding frame. That's not holding frame, bro. Holding frame is being with a woman that you absolutely love, admire, adore. And when you realize morally she's not lined up with you, she's going a different way. Maintaining your frame is letting her go. Well, just going that way, love. It was fun while it lasted. That's maintaining your frame. Jay Waller's always maintaining his frame. Right? Guys like that. Sterling's always maintaining his frame. Tristan Tate maintains his frame without being an asshole about it, without being dickheads. They know who they are. That's what maintaining your frame is, player. You ain't got to be out here like, I got game and this and that. Look at me peacocking and all that. If that's who you are, fine, do that. Do that. That's going to work for you. You're going to get some chicks. Trust me, you will. You're going to get some chicks. But maintaining frame is being able to walk away from the woman that you love because she's just not morally lined up with you, bro. All these guys, how do I keep her? She's a good girl. How do I bring her back? I mean, you guys don't know her like I know her. Those are things that women say. You don't know him like I know him. I can change him. I can make him this. I can make him. That's what women do. And they're talking about dudes who are maintaining their frame. Those guys don't want to be with those women for whatever reason. Like, I ain't messing with her. It's all good. It's all good. I ain't messing with her. So you got to get to know yourself first, gentlemen. And y'all like, well, who you think you are, D.L. Saint? I'm just an old man sitting in his attic talking to his computer. I maintain my frame at all times. All times. I maintain my frame on this platform. Y'all see it all the time. I ain't got to agree with you. I'm going to listen to you. And if you're right, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that. How many times you seen me just screaming and yelling at somebody because we have a difference of opinion? You never see that. You'll never see it. You might see some spirited debate back and forth, right? We had Last Good Man in Jersey on here earlier this week, and we were talking about cheat codes. Man, there are no cheat codes. Going to a foreign country is a cheat code. It's not. It's leveling up, yes, but at the end of the day, right, you're still gonna have to sit down with these women, and they're gonna figure out who you is, bro. So it's not necessarily a cheat code. You're still gonna need some understanding, and that understanding is game. Period. You're going to need that. You're going to need that. We got brother Chris Smokey House in the building. What's good, fam? Now I got a message for brother Doug. Hey, brother Doug, thumbs up, point made. The youth are looking for positive male role models in the community. They are. And that's what we're doing with the New Templars. We're putting together an organization where we're going to bring old and young men together. It's a male organization, and we're going to provide that leadership. We're going to be able to, we're going to sit down, and we sit down at least once a month, and we have these discussions. We're building right now. Like we're building and forming the organization. So we're actually putting in work. We're laying the foundation. But I figure 3 months from now, the foundation will be laid. Everything will be everything. And it will just be bringing guys in. I have so many older men, successful men waiting for us to get our foundation together. And we can just bring them in once a month and have these talks. You know, have people come in there and show you how to get into corporate America. Shout out to Brother Gene. How to get into corporate America. Have people talk about why you should or shouldn't join the United States military. I know people who were in the military and has gotten out and has become so successful. Look at Patrick Bet-David. So successful. How did they do that? You know, what traits does it take to be successful, right? We got guys who talk about finance. We got guys tell you how to, you want to buy an exotic car? We got people who can show you how to do that. Shout out to Fresh and his people. Like, oh, you want to learn how to really, you know, talk about finance. We can talk about why this credit crunch is so devastating to our economy. We could bring people in like Sister May, you know, Marcus with May. She'll come in and she'll talk and tell guys, yo, this is why you need to watch the markets. This is how you invest. You know, like brothers like Tarusa come in here and like, yeah, this is how you get started. This is how you balance your portfolio. This is how you can make your money make money for you. It doesn't have to be, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars. Stuff like that, bro. This is how it's done. This is how entrepreneurs get out there and make it happen. You know, we could bring in entrepreneurs and tell these young guys, you want to try that? This is how you do it. This is what we're doing. That's the leadership that's needed. And it's needed not just here in Tampa, man. It's needed throughout America. So you older dudes out here, man, or you young guys who figured it out, help out your brothers, man. Help your brothers. Don't keep all that information to yourself. You know what I mean? Share that information. Show people, man. Lead from the front. Show these young men how to build a frame. And then they'll have something to maintain. Right? That's how we should be doing it, y'all. That's how we should be doing it. Brother Doug is right. DL and I often disagree or agree and never lose his cool. I'll never lose my cool with you, bro. I'll never lose my cool. Why would I? I mean, you sends me stuff all the time. I'm grateful to you, brother. Even if the stuff you send me, the stuff you send me is good stuff. I read everything you send me. You know what I mean? And that goes for everyone out there. People send me stuff. They DM me stuff, email me stuff. Yo, I see it. I'm going to read it. I don't have to agree with it, but I'm grateful that you sent it to me. Like, okay, this is cool. I never saw that point of view. I didn't think of that. Brother Doug is right. Always going to be that way. Right? And we're always going to be like, oh, man, I don't know about that. And he'll do the same thing. Yeah, D, I don't know about that, bro. Like, I hear what you're saying, bro, but I don't know about that. Look at this. Oh, okay. We go back. Oh, man, the Biden stuff, the Hunter Biden and Biden. So we go back and forth on that all the time. You know what I mean? The Trump stuff, we go back and forth on that all the time. And it's cool because I can learn. And that's going to make me a better man. Right? And we both maintain our frame throughout the whole process. We both maintain our frames, both of us. And it's cool. It's not this. It's not that at all. It's this. What's up, bro? Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up, pimp. I appreciate that. Two black men having a discussion, right? I'm assuming you black, bro. I don't know if you're Latino. I don't know what you're claiming these days. We live in that world now. I identify as an ant. Just want to make sure. But it's cool when any brother, of any community, of any color gives me information and pushes me. I'm only going to get better. I'm only going to get better. But if I sit there and I yell, right, and I fuss and I fight and I get emotional and I say I'm never wrong, then I will never learn. Point blank. That's how it is, y'all. All right, I got to take my daughter to her mom's. And then I got to get ready for this meeting tonight. So we're going to leave it right here. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. I just wanted to have this conversation about, what is holding frame, man. These young guys just don't know it. When you hear these people say this, man, don't be afraid to check them. And by check them, I mean ask them, what do you mean by that? You're holding your frame. What do you mean? And see if they can answer that question, because most of them can't. You know what I mean? Holding frame does not mean you are right all the time. I want to leave with that. Men and women out there, understand that. Holding frame does not mean that you are always right. And if you're that person that's always right, then you will never grow. You will never learn. You are destined to fail, period. At least that's my take on it. Thanks for rocking out with me, y'all. I told you I had to make this one quick. I got to go. But I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to do the news roundup tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That one will be on time, I promise you. I don't know what news stories we're going to cover, but we're going to cover some serious stuff. Maybe we'll talk about the debt ceiling. We're going to talk about some serious stuff. We're going to talk about some weird stuff, and we're going to talk about some funny stuff. I like to cover all those different type of stories. So we'll be doing that tomorrow at 2. And then on Sunday, we're going to be doing Tech Sunday. We're going to be talking about how technology and more importantly, AI has changed the battlefield, the modern battlefield. So, Brother Doug, like, thanks, bro. No, thanks you, bro. Thanks to you, man. I really appreciate you, man. Day one, for real. I know you there. You be coming up with stuff, man. Like, don't think for a moment that I don't read that stuff. I do. Everything you send me, I read, bro. I look at, I check it out. So it is what it is, bro. So, all right, I'm gone. I gotta go, man. Thanks for rocking out with me. Y'all know what it is. I'm DL Saint. This is DL Saint. I Really Want to Know podcast. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.
News tomorrow.